Romania. And honestly, the best part of that would be going down into the little kids' play area with all of the people and just recapping what everybody loved about the day.
A moment at Faith that sticks out to me was a Good Friday service that was during my 8th or 9th grade year. It was when Pastor John was with us, and he started singing back by the media booth, and he went through the crowd, and he was singing really low, but it got louder. One of those kind of like more like melancholy, like tear-jerking songs, and he just was going through, and I was already crying. And when he got to the front, he just kind of kept going, and then he was just still strumming, and it just kind of summed everything up that I felt at that moment.
One of my favorite memories was before I even really went to Faith. I was on a soccer team with Corbin and Travis and Noah, the previous pastor, who I called Coach John at the time. He said that he was going to stop being the soccer coach, and he was basically the only reason that I kept being in soccer. So I was like, well, now we have to keep seeing Coach John all the time. So let's go to Coach John's church. So that's what got us there.
Probably when we went to Romania and we all crammed into those huge white vans and would blast Romanian music that none of us really understood, but we all sang very loudly too anyway. Yeah, it was really a great experience, and I remember that even though we didn't speak the same language as the kids we were working with there, we were able to connect with them, really build a relationship with them despite like not even knowing the same language.
Well, it's kind of hard to pinpoint an exact one, but I'll have to say collectively, every single mission trip I've ever been on, fun memories, really memories that like impacted my life, especially recently.
Probably the first time we all came together when we got our land for where the church is now, and we broke ground. Everybody brought shovels, and I think Noah, Travis, and I took breaking ground a little too seriously and actually like started digging away, not thinking it was just a whole ceremonial thing. It was really surreal to know we've moved so far and then finally actually having, because I know we spent a lot of time looking for land and then people would like back out from what we were doing or it wouldn't work out, but we finally had a place we were definitely going with actual like dirt underneath where we were going to eventually build the church, so that was pretty cool stuff.
Even if you get really, really busy and you think you don't have time for God, just because you don't have time to go to church or spend time with the youth, you still have time to worship on your own.
Graders, like 10th graders, you're having a real bad day, and you're just like, man, there was no one to tell you to go to the bus stop, and you're like, I could just hide in my closet and no one would know, and like we could just watch Netflix all day. Like, go to class, don't be that person, go to class and just tell your teacher like, hey, I'm not having a good day, I'm gonna have a bad look on my face, I'm sorry about it, but it's just all I can do to get through today.
Basically that you have a place in the church, whether it be in ministry or serving others, volunteer work, or even in the music. There's going to be an open spot once I graduate, so you can take it.
I think that you can look for and find God in things outside of church, and it can be school, it can be anything you're reading, but I think if you just look for it, you'll find it.
Well, I've just been sort of wrapped up in the college world lately, so what I'm thinking about right now is the application process for that, and that when I was doing it, I was like very caught up in my school, so I did not prioritize college, but that's not necessarily a good thing to do because school will only affect you for this year really, where college is pretty much going to affect the rest of your life. So dedicate a lot of time into that, and really just make sure you're not putting that on the back burner.
Well, you definitely don't need to have your entire life planned out for you when you go into high school. You're going to change your mind. I thought I was going to be an author, now I think I'm going to be an actor, and I might still change my mind a couple years down the line. And Your plans might not always work out at a high school or into high school, and that's okay. You're ending up where you need to end up.
Faith has always been my church home. I've gone to other churches like once or twice, or like when I was little I went to different churches, but no matter what, I'm always going to come back to Faith. Even if I do go away to college, which I'm not right away, if I do, I have to come back to Faith when I come home.
It's been like another home for me, something that is always there and that you can count on, and it's sort of it's like your own, but it's also something that's shared.
I think in the past, as I was growing up, I was very consistent about going to church every Sunday because that's what my parents had me do. We went to church every Sunday. But now it's kind of reversed as I've grown older, and it's sort of taken root in my life in a deeper way. It's always there for me. Like, I always have a place to come in faith. I hope that you guys can all find that deep internal connection.
Faith has been a really close-knit community where basically everybody cares for each other. There's not any like drama that goes on inside it really, and it's just basically a big happy family.
Faith has always been a support group behind everything I do, and I feel like no matter, and I know it's hard for me to sometimes make time to come, but every time I come it's always accepting, and I have a very large group of people that are always looking out for me and are always wanting the best for me. Everybody is always looking out for each other, and it feels just like a very warm, comfortable place that I can always come back to every Sunday and Wednesday, and every time I need someone or some place to be relieved of everyday life.
You feel the joy to love again.
Thank you, Faith.
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 Thank you, Faith.